Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am doing my March wrap up. I have a few books this time. I tried my best to stick to my monthly TBR. I've still not reached every book on the TBR because, as you know, I'm an ambitious girl and I recently started a new job which has just taken over my life and my energy, so I don't have a lot of time to read anymore, which is crazy, but it's fine. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the stats, it's just about the enjoyment, you know? If this makes me feel happy, it's, you know, it's really good for your brain to read as well. And I also just love immersing myself into, you know, universes that I read and just to get excited. It just makes me happy, you know. I like to fixate on some characters as well, which I think, you know, they can be really beautiful, yada yada yada. So I'm happy still nonetheless. I actually didn't end up finishing this book, so I will be finishing it in April. So you'll see this in my April monthly wrap-up video. So yeah, very, very sad, but it's fine. Now, even though I just said stats don't matter, I did write them down because I know some people still really like to hear and kind of get a gist of things. So how many books did I end up reading? I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Really? 9 books this month, and total pages I read 3,473, and I have 5 5-star books. Majority of, I think my average rating would probably be a 4 point, like a high. I would say average rating score would be like a 4.5, around that. So I was kind of a bit of a sore loser in my last wrap up video for February, and I was meant to read Iron Flame in February, and I did start reading it, but I didn't finish it until the first day of March. So I'm counting this as still March because it's very, very exciting. There's 640 pages in Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the second book in the series. It is insane. I would say for any of the people that are obsessed with the relationship that the two protagonists share, it's too much to think about. It's a Roman Empire of mine. I think about it still to this day. I think about their bonds. I think about how both their dragons are also bonded to each other. So it's just like such a cruel, cruel world. Rebecca, seriously. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It is just amazing. I think 3 above, you know, that kind of star rating is really, really good. And obviously I can't really talk about this because it's going to be a spoiler, but it is the continuation at Basgith War College. After the first book where so much happens, there's lots of fighting involved. I did kind of mention this in my last book, in my last video. So yeah, just refer to that for any notes. Then the next book I read was Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is now my second Ali Hazelwood book that I've read. I ended up giving this a 4 stars as well. I think it is very, very strong writing. I love Ali Hazelwood's style of writing and also just in general, like her themes. I just love how it's STEM romance. So pretty much we've got Elsie Hanaway in this book as the protagonist, and she by day works in the STEM industry as a professor, but she also, for an extra buck, does fake dating. So she like gets paid to be a fake girlfriend, and she gets lots of gigs, and one of them she's involved with the younger brother of the other protagonist in this book, Jack. So they already kind of know each other, and then their worlds do collide at one stage. They have lots of chemistry. I love just like saying that because it's like obviously ironic. Yeah, they do have a lot of chemistry, and I just think it is sexy as hell. It's a beautiful romance. I would say as well, kind of like the tropes in this obviously are STEM romance, sort of enemies to lovers, but they're not really enemies. It's just kind of like that energy. So yeah. So I read this one and I loved it. I finally finished reading Crown of Midnight, guys. So I read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. However, the order that I'm reading it in is I've already started reading Assassin's Blade first. That's like the novellas, the prequel, and then there's Throne of Glass, and then there's Crown of Midnight. And she's just a badass. Like, she's such a baddie. I love the relationships that she has with Dorian in this. They've kind of just accepted the fact that I can't spoil it. Why am I about to spoil things? No. And you know what's really fascinating is the fact that she is hired as an assassin, but she cannot bear to kill these people. It's funny. It's actually really hard to talk about books that are part of a series later on rather than like the first. So I cannot even talk about this, but the story is developing. It's been quite intense in this book. We have funerals. We have fighting, decisions being made. It is intense, and I'm very excited to read Heir of Fire. I'm so excited to read it. So I will get to that in April, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, that's the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. I wish I could talk about this, like, honestly, because I don't like doing spoilers in my wrap-up videos, so I'm sorry. But you kind of get the gist. Like, if you are watching my videos each month, you know that I'm obviously on this journey, and it goes without saying, you know, you just don't really talk about it. You don't really spoil it. The next book I read was Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I actually listened to this on Audible. I think it was on Audible. Yeah, on Audible, and I really enjoyed it. There were parts where I was like, ugh, it's a bit cringy. It's a dark romance, and it's loosely based off the fairy tale Peter Pan. But we see more of a more innocent side to Hook and more of a darker side to Peter. So you see their relationship. It's kind of like in a different way though. And the reason for why I use the words cringy is because it is a romance, and I just don't know. Like, there's just some things, like the smutty scenes and stuff, where I want to enjoy the smutty scenes, but it's me thinking about the fact that he is having intercourse with Wendy. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It's all I'm going to say. I think it's just, I am an OG kind of girly. Like, I'm very original with a lot of things, and oh my god, my mouth is so fucking dry. Anyway, I'm an OG with things, and I have always been obsessed with Peter Pan, so it's like really hard for me sometimes to deter away from the original. But at the end of the day, I'm also very open-minded, and I finished the whole book. I gave it a 3 stars actually. I still enjoyed it. I would recommend it, and I'm looking forward to also reading the other Emily McIntyre books that are loosely based off other fairy tales and, you know, Disney stuff. So very exciting. Yeah. Then I love to do my yearly reread of the Heartstopper books. So right now I've only got 1 to 4. I borrowed my cousin's 5th. I still don't have the 5th as my own, which is silly because I can easily go get it. But so obviously Heartstopper is very, very near and dear to my heart. It is a beautiful LGBTQIA plus community love story unfolding. I would also say it's YA, definitely, because obviously they are still in high school, and yeah, it's really, really cute. And it's just so sweet to see like how everything's drawn and everything, and then you see the similarities in the TV show, and sometimes you also see different things in the TV show, and I just think it's really, really bouge. So boy meets boy, boy becomes friends, boy falls in love. It's kind of loosely based off that. And it's all a continuation. So volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and 5 is a little bit more naughty because obviously they're growing and, you know, their relationship is developing. In this story and in this case, if we're just looking at both Charlie and Nick, you are seeing them develop some sort of sexual side to them as well in the 5th book, which is really, really exciting. I've watched every episode multiple times also on Netflix, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that it is so well done. I just love it. So Alice Oseman, I just owe her my life of loving energy, because I just thank her dearly for creating such a beautiful world of characters. And as well, I just think it's really, really beautiful. And even people that aren't actually a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, even if they're just allies, it's something that everyone can enjoy. And I just really, really love that we get to see this on our screens. I think it is such a fantastically well done and beautiful romance. In the books, actually, there's a lot of swearing, but we don't see the swearing on the TV show. So it is really interesting, you know, reading the swearing, and you're like, I actually laugh, because I'm like, I can imagine them saying that in the show, but obviously we don't get that. So yeah, I am very happy, and all 5 of the books I rated 5 stars. So that they were my 5 stars of the month, which I'm very grateful for. I honestly would have given this a 5 stars, but I just have a feeling that the rest of the books are just going to be so top tier. I'm so excited. Another thing too, what the genuine hell, Rebecca Yarros this morning, well, yesterday, announced that she is releasing in January next year Onyx Storm, the 3rd book in the 4th Wing series. I can't even breathe. I really can't breathe. I also I need to just promote this, guys, because I made this playlist and I am so proud of it. Because if you are a fantasy reader, I have multiple different fantasy playlists to listen to, but I've made a specific one just for Violet and Xaden in the 4th Wing series, and it has the most beautiful music, and I genuinely listen to it every time I think about it, and I just want to have a day to just like get in my feelings for 4th Wing, or I'm actually rereading parts of it and I'm like, whoa, I genuinely can't. And then I'll go on Pinterest while I'm listening to it, and I'm like looking up all the fan art and everything. I just love the fan art, and I love seeing all of the tattoos that people are getting of like the dragons and everything. And I have a dragon tattoo on my hip, but that's not inspiration from 4th Wing. It's actually one of the Harry Potter dragons. It's the Swedish short snout, which Cedric actually has in the Goblet of Fire, because I'm a massive Cedric fan. I love him so much, and I love Hufflepuffs. I think Hufflepuffs are literally the coolest people. That is my monthly wrap up. As I said earlier, 3,473 pages were read this month, and I love it. I'm just gonna hold up my books because I'm a proud mother of all my books. These are my books and I love them. I gotta take a thumbnail, guys. Anyway, that's my thumb. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please let me know your stats as well, and if you've read any of the same books that I did, as well as let me know your favorite book that you read this month. I'm actually very intrigued. I'm always looking for books to read because I have an aim this year, which I'm kind of scared I might not get to, 100 books. I need to read 100 books by the end of this year. Who knows? I could do it. I'm traveling. I'm going to Hawaii literally next month. And I'm going to America, I'm going to certain parts of America. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm really nervous because I'm not the best at traveling. I'm really bad, if I'm honest. But I will need books to read on the plane and books to read while traveling around. So give me your recommendations, please. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Click the subscribe button down below if you are new here, because I do like to upload lots and lots of videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.